Sorry, I was a bit distracted there. It's kind of fun because yesterday YouTube directed me to a channel that I've never come across before, and it's called Cracking the Baccarat Code. And it seems this guy uses the three-play method that I recommended I don't know, 10, 15 years ago on my gambling blog. He uses that method. He calls it money management. I call it winning. Um, and oh, we came out with that one all right. Good. Um, and it's an interesting site. There's no doubt about it. He's got a huge bankroll right now. He's up around 180,000, I think, and doing very well, making some huge bets, just as I recommend. Um, but he has an obsession with monster boobs, and I find that really kind of yucky. Um, I mean, I love boobs, but you know, not of the absolutely enormous variety that basically prevent you from moving almost. Um, I did have a girlfriend for a very brief time who was extremely well endowed. Um, but that's beside the point, isn't it? What did I just do? See, that's what happens. You start thinking of tits and you're totally distracted. Okay. Yeah, he's using he's modified it to some extent. He doesn't use the hop, but he does use three play, and it's very good. I mean, it's the salvation of the whole martingale concept. It makes progressive betting uh, much less dangerous. It can still get really shitty, as we've seen in some of these demos, but it's um, it's the only way to go. Simple as that. 51 second. Repeat. 1 2 second. There we go. I mean, I don't really understand why anybody would bet any other way. And then the other problem I've got is that I've been doing this sort of tracking thing with Vegas Matt and his bizarre table sessions where he only ever bets banker on baccarat, and he's all over the place with blackjack. And you know, all I do is I just take his outcomes and then I pump them into or drop them into an algorithm, a spreadsheet with the algorithm for pattern betting, target betting, double or drop, whatever the bloody name is. And I just had a ridiculous win. That's now taken me so far ahead of him. It's a joke. But what can I say? Oh dear. Yeah, that was a repeat. So now we're on 2-3, third on player. Come on, player. Nope. 5-3. We're going to the bank, but not yet. Now we're going to the bank. 5-3 it is. 2-4 to cover commission. That was nice. Still on the bank. Double for the tie. 51 second. 2, 3, third. Right, we'll call it 2-4 after the tie. 6-4 coming to player, but not yet. Here we go. 6-4. 10-8. I count slowly. Ooh! 18-20. There it is. Yeah, this guy shows some very big turnaround bets. I think the highest one I've seen is 19,000 roughly. But by golly, he gets it. And lots of people look at these things and they say, yeah, well, why aren't you still betting in the thousands? Because look at this, you've got a winning streak going on. But that's not how it's done. It's just not a good way to go. Now we're on 2-3, third on player. 5-3, waiting for the banker. There it is. 1, 2, 3. 2, 4. 6, 8. Do it again. That didn't work either. So, okay, so it's going to have to be 14. That's untidy, isn't it? 14, 17. I'm not going to run away this time. And there's the 14, 17. So we got all of our commission back. You know, and obviously with this strategy, you've got to have balls, you've got to have bankroll, and you've got to be sober. Back to the min. I mean, look at this for volatility. It's ridiculous here. We're on 16 wins and 21 losses, and we're still 1,440 ahead. So, you know, I say this often, I know, but anybody who really believes that it is impossible to win more when you win than you lose when you lose has their head up their bum. It's going to have to be 2-4 again, I think. 6-4 coming to player. 2-3, 1, 2, 3. There we are. Double for the tie. 51. Repeat. Double for the tie. That's good. Minimum. Double for the loss. 1, 2, third. 3-2 to the bank whenever. There it is. It's our win trigger. 5-4. 1-3 for the commission. And we're good. Oops. Minimum. Double for the loss. 1, 2, third. There it is. Minimum. See, the point is, you know, what you need is you need a disciplined strategy which takes away stress, takes away doubt, takes away indecision, takes away most of the pressures that can screw you up when you're playing these table games. And that doesn't mean that there isn't pressure from time to time, because obviously as the bets mount, you're sort of thinking, but okay, so that was just a loss. See, as soon as I start nattering, I lose my drift completely. Okay, that's a repeat. And that's back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2. We are good. Don't think there's many bets left. That was right. Okay, so let's just look at the thing here. We're ahead 2,426. we won 28 bets and lost 34. If we'd been relying on banker player, then we'd have had 32 players and 35 bankers. I mean, look at this. This is a major resource here. Anybody who gives a tinker's toss about baccarat needs to sign up for this program. And I'm not saying that because I have money in Baccarat Win Pro. I have a pleasant occasional dialogue going on with them, which is basically compliments back and forth. I can't get any personal information out of the creators. I don't know whether they're plural or singular. I don't know whether they're male or female. I don't know exactly where they are. They're based. Antigua, I think, is where they have their bank accounts and so on. But I suspect that they're further west, or is it east? No, it's west. Probably in Japan or Korea. I don't know. Maybe Singapore. I just don't know. Why am I burbling on there? But I just wish they'd come out with the same thing for blackjack. The same kind of tracking. It would be fantastic. And maybe when I've won my millions, I will actually commission somebody to produce a sim which is even better than the Wizard of Oz sim, which I think is pretty bloody good. But it would be nice to have a sim that could track multiple hands and all of that sort of thing. And maybe there is one out there. I mean, I suspect that as soon as I discovered the I'm only doing one show at a time from now on, by the way. Yeah, I'm dropping down to one show at a time because I'm discovering that there isn't a whole lot of attention span out there. There are some people who are serious about this, but lots who aren't. And of course, the breaks are when I just step back and don't bet. And the alternative to that, if you're not allowed to do that in a given casino, is to just drop to the lowest bet that you possibly can. There's something to be said for something higher than the minimum, your initial bet. But sitting out is just fine. So anyway, 28 into 7,130 and 35 into 4,700. I mean, it's a no-brainer, people. It just is a no-brainer. So let's have a look at the front page. Not to be confused with Front Street. There it is. So we've been doing very well lately. In particular, we had a little bit of a wobble down here. Nothing else terrible because each red entry is followed by a turnaround shoe. It's just absolutely inevitable. I mean, here was a difference. We went from shit to shittier, and then to sunshine. So that's how it is. But I'll catch you next time. Okay, so I have to plead guilty to a complete fuck up just now. I didn't save the shoe that I just played, and so I thought the win was about right, but I forgot to save it, and thank goodness for this this platform because I came back to it and I thought, that was wrong. And so now we can look at the result this time. It's about the same, actually, but it always is about the same. You see, so here we got 28 into 7,900 and 34 into 5,500. So once again, we're talking about, proving the point. Win more when you win than you lose when you lose. That is critical. That is essential. It is the core. What else can I say in a cliched manner? That's just how the hell it is. That's it. And just to revisit these, I mean, look at this. This stuff here. It's just incredible. And you can check all these out against an 8-deck shoe, and you won't find any repetition. I mean, obviously you'll find 8 aces of spades and 8 aces of clubs and so on, but you won't find more than 8. That's the point, It's just just absolutely stupefyingly bloody brilliant is what it is. And maybe there's a catch to it. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I just haven't discovered it. But all I'm saying to you is that this is the bee's bloody knees. Okay, so this is the channel that I was talking about, and you can probably see what I mean about the monstrously massive mammaries. I can't think of any other M's. In fact, it's all very distracting, and it has nothing to do with baccarat that I can imagine. But maybe it's a peculiar sense of humour. Who knows? But there's value to any site which demonstrates the realities of these casino games of chance rather than the myths that the mathematicians and the casinos themselves try to swamp us with, confuse us with, discombobulate us with all the time. Yeah, it seems to me this channel is definitely worth a look. He has a higher audience rate, subscriber rate than I do, but not by that much. And I think that he's probably discovering the same thing that I learned quite a while ago, and that is that there are very, very few people out there who are much interested in the numbers and realities of these games of chance, particularly blackjack and baccarat. And of course, it matters less. The numbers, the realities matter less as soon as you get into games like roulette, specifically 00 roulette, and field bets on craps and so on, where the odds are getting wider and wider and wider, and ridiculous games like Texas Hold'em and three-card poker. I mean, they're just such bloody rip-offs. And never mind things like these blackjack variations they have now. With all the tens taken out. That's the number 10 rather than the 10 values, the actual tens taken out of a six-stack shoe. So that's minus 24 right there before you get going. If you happen to be a card counter, and I've said many times I'm very dubious about card counting, but that's a different matter entirely. But if we just sort of like spin through this a little bit fast. It's kind of frustrating because it's a bit of a slow process. I've just had my broadband upgraded considerably, but it's not by as much as they promised. What are we looking at here? I'm just jumping ahead just for the fun of it as we see the shoe coming to its end. But I highly recommend a look at this cracking the baccarat code, I think it's called. I've forgotten already. But where's he at? 64,970 right now. He's a little bit down. Jump ahead a little bit. The shoe is about to come to an end, I think. But it's definitely worth a watch. Excuse me, sorry about all my barnyard noises. I can't really. Yeah, so he didn't win very much this time, but you know what? He's not doing it right. That's all I can say. But it's definitely worth a look. So I recommend it, and it's up to you. Okay, so I tried to track the the bets for this guy at whatever it's called, and it got a bit sort of weird around line 37 because that's in there as 0. Then we jump ahead just a little bit. So I'm having a control problem here. So and then it's 175, and then it's 275, and then we go on a little bit and it drops to 25. And then so all I can say is that if the creator of this site is interested in letting me have his results for this specific shoe, I'd be very happy about that. Meanwhile, I will just, I don't know what that's about. I'll just go with my numbers, and now we're out of focus. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the way that the pattern betting algorithm would have played the shoe that I found when YouTube directed me to this new it's a channel that's new to me. It's been around for a year or so, I think, but it's called Cracking the Baccarat Code, and it's really quite interesting. The guy is obsessed with big tits, which is great for those who love big boobs. I'm much more interested in beating baccarat shoes and leaving other pastimes to one side until the job is done. And here what happens is the pattern betting algorithm wins 4,650 against that particular set. It's an average win of 573, an average of loss of 273. So that's a win over loss situation of 210%. And like I keep saying, too boring repetition levels. You must bet in such a way that you win more when you win and you lose when you lose, so that losing more often, which is the case most of the time, doesn't bleed you white, doesn't rob you of your bankroll. And here what we had was a situation where this shoe was player friendly up to this point, and then it just went it just went pear shaped. The wheels came off and boom boom boom. It was horrible. But that's it up there, and that down here the bead plate is clearly indicated. It's a little untidy because this is a bit of a kind of an adjustment for me. I started out with a blackjack model here so that I can do that on a regular basis, replaying the guys who play professionally on YouTube, and also, in my opinion, play very badly. But then they may be instructed to do that by the casinos that support them. Who knows? But what do we end up with? We end up with 210%. We end up with a 13.5% hold of action. Total action is 34,325. The win is 4,650. The flat AV, we had 21 wins and 27 losses. The flat AV, or actual value, is minus 12.5%. If we take that value and multiply it by the action, we get an expected loss, or an indicated loss, of minus 4,291. That did not occur. Instead, we had this much better result here. Doubles, of course, are not relevant to baccarat. I'm reluctant to take them out, actually, but I suppose I should, because they really don't. They don't matter. So I'll take them out. There we go. So no doubles. That's that's not relevant either. It's funny. I've been trying to record this this summary here, and every time I start, I notice something that I should have done. So this time, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep whittering on. Okay. Here we go. With the 4,650 was the win, which is unusually high, actually. The hop is applied. The hop is -3, so that what happens basically here is that as soon as you get a cumulative loss here of -3, you switch. If you get another cumulative loss of -3, you switch back, and then down here it's -6, which is another occasion to switch. So you switch again, you hop again, and it works beautifully. But it's difficult for me because I keep saying I don't understand why you don't understand, and yet I do understand, because obviously I'm not getting it out there enough, or I'm not explaining it well enough, or I'm screwing up in some way or other that I can't fully understand. But I'm doing my best. All right. So I'm going to keep this short. I wish I had this guy's bets so that I could stick them in here, but I don't. So this is redundant. It doesn't mean anything. All we've got is a situation where these were outcomes that I had no control over, and all I did was drop the bead plate into. Obviously, I had to copy it first, to translate it. But it's easy enough to see whether it's accurate or not, and I'll scroll down here so that anybody who doubts me can make sure that I've got the results correctly. But that was the shoe, and this is the result up here. I have assumed here that the drop is 0. So in other words, when you skip, you drop. Let me see. Do we have any drops? We didn't actually. No, -3 drops. -3 drops. No, there are no. Yeah, there is a drop. Yeah. Okay. I was a bit worried there because I'm sort of thinking, wait a minute, have I done it again? Not noticing. So basically, what happens is that as soon as you get into a nasty situation, a -3, you not only hop, but you drop. And so you skip is what's happening here. If that's 0, then it's a skip. And that's something else. See, I can fix that. I can sort of say, well, if that's 0, then that becomes skip. And if it's more than 0, then it becomes drop. But you see with the dilemma that I have. I mean, there's just so much going on here. If you drop to 25, then you get a different result. You don't win nearly as much, 1,825. And what that does is it tells you the value of the drop. Because if you say, put this to 100, what happens then? It gets a little bit better. And 200, you get a little bit more. So, you get the flavor of what's going on here. But all I'm trying to say to you folks, and of course I understand it's entirely your choice. You can write me off as a lunatic, a madman, a charlatan, whatever, but I'm not selling anything. I think charlatans have to be selling something, don't they? Liar is something I could be, but I'm not. But anyway, that's up to you. But the information is all here. It's in front of you. I'm doing all I can to help people stop losing. But sometimes my best efforts are piss up the wall. So I'll see you next time.